excitement.
All right, we're live. Everyone stop talking about Jimmy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Just the
Okay,
rudest.
we need to hide that so everybody can see us.
Oh, look at us. Here we are.
Yay.
Yay. How's it going, everyone?
It's going okay.
Oh, there we go.
I think that's way better.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to see my face that close up. It's just not good.
Right?
No one needs to realize how huge my head is.
Everyone needs to see my face that close up, so I'm just gonna hold the computer.
Oh my
really
god,
close this whole
stop.
time.
And
This
your
is bad
overly
as streaming
white
etiquette,
teeth.
Matthew. Disaster.
Welcome to Comic Book Yeti's Roundtable. If you've ever wanted to be behind the scenes of the Comic Book Yeti Editorial Discord, this is pretty much what you'd have to put up with. So, we are your hosts, Matt Ligeti.
Oh, Byron. Hi.
And I'm Christa Byron.
All right. So, feel free to drop in the chat any questions you have. We might even answer them.
Maybe. We'll
maybe. No promise.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But we have a good hour and a half to chat with you guys, or record and make everyone watch this later. So
Mandatory reading.
that's right. I am very excited to announce that we actually have one of our biggest fans joining us tonight.
Oh my god. We're 2 minutes into this. Please don't do this to me already.
I just had to level.
There goes the recruiting mechanism. It is gone. Gone. This is what you can expect, folks. This is reality in your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I really I don't even know anything about comic books. I just wanted a platform for puns.
Yeah, I've been ghostwriting for you since you started the site. You don't actually read comics. It's just all been me.
Yeah. I mean, no one could prove that wrong.
It's true.
That's called disproving. Yes.
No one can disprove that.
Where would we be without you, Byron?
Right.
There we go. I can't spell, but I know words.
I can't spell, but I know what love is.
I would like to know what love is.
I want you to show me. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just like bringing actual memories, real live shows to mind.
Oh, that's a bad song.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's not the best.
No.
All right. So what is the first thing on the docket tonight? What do we want to discuss first?
I want to thank people. That's one thing I want to do. I guess as my sort of new role as media editor and working a lot with Jimmy, I just want to take the opportunity to thank the other people that I'm working with. Jimmy does a fantastic job with the podcast. I feel like if you haven't actually listened, we do have kind of a mirror thing going on YouTube. But if for people who haven't listened or seen it yet, it's great. I think it's smashingly well actually so far. And I listened to his interview today, which was fantastic. I'm going to steal some stuff for it. Thank you, Jimmy.
Excellent.
And Lauren's jumped in. She's doing a good job too with the interviews. Yeah, I just wanted to take that moment and thank some people.
Yeah, all of Comic Book Yeti runs on volunteers. Sometimes we pay them. It's not a regular thing, but we were just lucky enough to sell a ton of coffee, and so we gave what we could to people who opted in. But for the most part, these are people who volunteer a lot of time out of very busy schedules, on top of full-time jobs, on top of other extracurricular activities, on top of writing and producing content for other websites. I hate that word. For other websites. And many of them are trying to break into comics themselves. And I am Comic Book Yeti wouldn't exist without everyone volunteering their time and putting it together, because I would have had a heart attack trying to keep up with things. years ago, and eventually would have just like shut everything down to avoid having that heart attack. So huge thank you to everyone, especially Jimmy, unless he quits, in which case we are changing his credits on everything he's ever done and making it say Christa. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was a bit. I don't think he's actually quitting.
Good.
You were freaking out though. It was funny.
I was. It's been a high anxiety day, and I was like, Jimmy, don't mess with me like this. But I threw a link to the podcast, the Cryptid Creator Corner podcast. I'll throw another one in for Grant's podcast, and that is Into the Comics Cave with Comics Heartthrob, Grant Stoy, and yeah, we've got a lot of new stuff that we just started this year. It's really exciting.
Yeah,
Seems
I'm
like
jazzed. Oh, go ahead, Byron.
No, it's just like it seems like a good opportunity to go into that. So I even saw some of it today that I wasn't aware of. So
what'd you see?
Yeah.
Well, with Chris and his recruitment.
Yeah. So we get a metric ton of press releases and information about comics and publishers and everything, from, like I said, indie publishers, but also from folks out there doing self-publishing. And I would love to cover as much as possible and help everyone keep up with that information. And so in talking with Chris Runtz, who runs our news desk, he is looking for a partner / co-producer for a news podcast that would be once a week, catching everyone up on the hottest industry news. And so if that is something that is interesting to you, keeping up with the news, co-running a podcast, we would love to hear from you. So please get in touch. We need you.
It's a good way to get your feet wet in terms of audio production and journalism. You know, like we said, it's volunteer basis. Obviously, we appreciate your time, but if you're interested in kind of cutting your teeth on that stuff, I think you should have a little bit of experience. Obviously, we're not here necessarily equipped to teach everyone how to do everything, but totally jazzed to share the skills that we do have and keep building the team because we have such a good one. So,
yeah. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, reach out to Christa, reach out to...
Don't reach out to me.
Nope, definitely reach out to
anybody.
Let me find Chris's Twitter handle, and I'll throw that in the chat too.
Don't ever talk to me.
Don't ever talk to
me. HR.
Right.
I guess technically, wouldn't I be HR? That's horrifying.
I'm not taking that on. No.
It's funny. I'm like, we are a real business. You have to give us respect. And then with stuff like HR, it's like, we're not a real business. We don't.
No, we're just a ragtag group of enthusiastic people.
Right.
Misfits and ne'er-do-wells.
That's exactly right. Sometimes do-wells. We're chaotic good comic journalism.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, that's the best alignment, in my opinion.
The like Han Solo of comics journalism.
just wagging the pistol and shooting behind us as we go.
That's right.
I never liked those tests. Those tests always say I'm evil.
Which is all in how you define it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we are growing at a tremendous rate. We are trying to review as many comics as possible. We are trying to interview as many creators as possible. We are doing our best to cover all the bases in podcasts and the YouTubes and the streaming. So yeah, it's we are everywhere just trying to help out the the community so that we love so much.
Yeah.
Why does YouTube sound so much worse than YouTube?
It really does. Matt, you're showing your millennial age. You're a child of a very particular internet generation, and I say that because so am I.
Right. The elder millennial generation.
It's like a GI dysfunction. No.
All right, folks, let's get into it.
And I'm the oldest, so yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
Came down with a case of the YouTubes. Sorry, guys.
Ooh.
I was in Mexico.
These things happen.
Got a little wild.
There's a cream for that.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
Are we recording this?
Oh, yes. It's live streaming. This is live.
I know that, but that's like if you didn't hear Cabbage say it, it doesn't exist. And
right.
now it does. Hooray.
Oh.
So kids, if you're out there listening, it's illustrated quite clearly so far that we're all dinosaurs and we need some youth in this system.
That's right.
So
yes. It's lovely to have Al. It's lovely to have Katie, our whole host of writers and editors. It's been a real blast, especially this last year, to see it grow. And though he can't be with us, we haven't mentioned him yet, Mr. Wells Thompson, who is waitering his way to fame, I believe, this evening. I think he works Friday nights. So.
Oh, I think he's in Kansas City for the Congress.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Yeah, he's at the convention.
Yeah. Maybe he's hanging out with Al. Because Al's
playing comics, hanging out with cool people.
So please go buy some Mechaton from Wells if you're out in KC. Yeah, the dude got in like 75 different anthologies this year. So wait for him to make it big. Get those signed copies while you can.
Yeah, he's on a roll. Good for him. He's putting in the work and it's paying off. I'm proud of him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell him this is his peak and it's all downhill from here, but...
Oh my God, you're so rude.
No, I have to call in threats to all the publishers so that he has plenty of time to edit all the reviews. Like, it's just business.
Yes, tactical.
Yeah, that's it.
The evil comics mastermind, Matthew Ligeti.
Chaotic neutral. Come on, we just discussed this.
I said I was chaotic neutral.
Fair enough.
I think we've established that I'm some spectrum of evil. So
some spectrum.
I mean, I think if you have an active Twitter account, you are by default some spectrum of evil because you just have to wade into the cesspool with the rest of us and try to survive.
It's like the Good Place where you just start racking up those negative scores the more time you spend on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Just scrolling the timeline all the way to hell.
It's okay. Musk is going to burn it all down anyway.
Let's talk about the privatization of social media platforms.
Oh my God.
I'm headed to TikTok.
Yeah. No, as soon as our generation heads to TikTok, there's going to be another social media platform.
Well, I mean, I see TikToks by Zoomers about millennials, like, oh, they don't know how to do the dances. And I'm like, my back hurts now all the time. Just leave me alone.
No, like literally yesterday, I turned funny and I've just been in pain since. Like that is our generation, I guess. So yeah, it's.
I got you beat. I pinched a nerve in my shoulder building an inversion table for my partner's injured back.
Yeah, that's
pretty epic. I will not, as the 47-year-old, allow this to devolve though into us comparing ailments.
No, it's not. But yeah. I thought the irony of that was pretty great. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, if you see this comic book Yeti shirt that I'm wearing and you want one for yourself, let me find the link to that so that you can purchase a comic book Yeti shirt of your own. And we
actually various merch. There's more stuff in there.
Yes. And so if you had the comic book Yeti coffee, and let me find the link for that. We got to get all the shameless plugs in here because we know how shameless I am.
Do we?
Maybe not the true extent of it yet. Okay.
I'm kind of in awe of your marketing brain sometimes because we both do that for a living, but you do it for profit. So yours just moves like 50 times faster than mine because your content schedule is pretty ridiculous.
It's a blessing and a curse because I'm like, ooh, let's do this. And then I tweet it out and I'm like, oh God, I have to follow through now. This was a mistake.
I keep telling you, Byron, I've been doing this for years now. He has an idea and I'm like, just take a second, put it in a Word document and don't tweet it out immediately. That's how we end up with like 15 new people all at once, which is a fantastic problem to have, but it's just like,
but then you have to
equilibrium needs to happen a little bit more often, I think.
It gets pretty bad when he and I are on Discord back and forth with the marketing ideas. Yeah.
It's so this is a thing that gifted ADHD anxiety individuals have, where you don't, like, once you get over a project and you finish that and life is normal again, you have no idea what to do with yourself. So you immediately sow chaos in order to have that what is actually normal to you.
Which is stress, more chaos.
Exactly.
Procrastination, crying in the bathtub.
Drinking wine straight out of the bottle under your desk. Welcome to the Comic Book Yeti chat, where we're talking about stress and giving out free therapy advice. No,
reframing ADHD is gifted. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, anyway, about Rootless Coffee. If you haven't had it yet, go buy some.
It's very good.
Yeah, Jack Foster, the Villainist, at the Villainist on Twitter, did all the art for it. He's incredible. Love him to death. And we are going to use that art and put it on some merch in our store very soon so that you can wear Jack Foster art and wear that Comic Book Yeti amazing art that he did. So we will be tweeting that from the rooftops as soon as it's ready, but you are the first to hear it. And we are also starting to talk to other artists who may like to do fun Comic Book Yeti art for merch in the future. So if that is something that interests you, dear listeners, or dear one live listener, and then everyone else who's tuning in later.
Never mention the amount of people who are tuning in. It's hundreds of thousands of subscribers, Matthew.
That's right. No, our one watcher right now is worth hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
It's true.
I love you, whoever you are.
Oh, God.
I do it every time. You know I have to.
No, I don't know that. I'm still trying to live in denial. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We are blazing through the content, though. So.
Yeah, what else you got to plug? What else you got in that coat?
What else do we have? Well, I should probably... No, you're probably following on YouTube, but...
we could also talk to each other.
Well, surely we're entertaining. Hey, we got another person. We're entertaining enough that we're double.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's doubled. Hi everyone. Okay.
Welcome.
So one thing that we were talking about recently on Twitter was publishers who reach out to work with us on content. Hate that word, but usually it's to push titles or projects or even a single issue. And, you know, that goes a lot farther, because it goes further than sending review copies, because you establish that one-on-one relationship, sending us those press releases, sending us images to use of the cover, of the interior, sending us art process videos, all kinds of stuff, it goes a long way. And especially, you know, if we get to share that as an exclusive, that's great. But hi Sheila. Even if not. So but we also do all kinds of other fun stuff. Like we love interviews for the podcast or otherwise. Did I mention before that Russia has no word for fun in their language? That's one thing I learned when I took Russian.
It's vodka.
Right. That is the closest word to fun. No. So we'll do interviews, but you know, we're also up for whatever. Maybe we do live streaming karaoke. Maybe we play some. Okay, Christa is the only one up for live streaming karaoke.
That's not what that face meant.
That's exactly what that face was.
You don't get to sign up. You're not my supervisor. You don't get to sign me up for things.
Well, I might not be a supervisor, but maybe I'm just a normal visor.
For more of this crap, please join us at comicbookyeti.com.
This recruitment video is not strong.
Right. Wait, do I have to start it? Oh, hi.
So,
what is he there?
Just to default, just keep saying I love you. Maybe people will just respond to it.
I really like that we're doing this because people can really understand just how like sick. Shut up, Steve. Just how sick your brain is that you just have these ready to go. Like people don't understand how quickly you can turn this stuff out. Like anything I say, you have 10 puns, just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but the thing is like if I don't put my keys and wallet in the same place at the end of the day, I will lose them. Like this is the only thing that I'm good at is puns. Damn it, Dane.
I love our audience. They're very good people. They understand that when we tweet about this, they should heckle us a little bit.
That's right.
And that makes me happy.
Dane, you are not allowed to make fun of me without liking the tweet that you were making fun of. So if you could just go back and like that first and then come back and comment.
Ooh, on blast.
No, Dane is a close personal friend and is the Comic Book Yeti lawyer at times even. So
thank you, Dane.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
When Jimmy can't be trusted. So I always wonder if he's just mercenary, like out there, you know, actually working deep undercover for gate crashers, and he's like slowly sabotaging us from the inside.
Is that why Wix just stops working now? They've got a man on the inside.
That's right. I think so.
We're on to you, Gasparo.
Comics Gate Crasher.
Comics Gate Crasher. Oh God.
Oof.
I'm trying to get hits here. I just figured if I say Comics Gate, like
walk away from that one.
Right. Oh God.
Shout out to Gate Crashers.
Yeah.
For being a good bud.
But not Comics Gate. Sorry.
No, absolutely not.
And we are moving on.
Yes. Yep. Okay. What were we even talking about before?
I think you had gotten to the
publishers.
End of the
yes. Okay, so you know, we've got the streaming thing. That's how all of you are watching this right now, and we can do fun things like streaming games. You can do a reading of your script for the comic to tease it before people see it with the amazing art. You can do whatever you like, and we will work with you on that. So let us know. Come work with us. Email Christa and email us, and we'll work with you. It's a brave new world out there. We've got all kinds of fun stuff that we can do at Comic Book Yeti, and you know, creators who write content for the site like Ian Mondrick, that stuff does really, really well. Ian, we are worried about you. They haven't found the body since the last article that you wrote. Ian, please come home.
Stephen, no, you may not send individual TIFF files, and in fact, you may never submit again to Comic Book Yeti, so you're welcome.
We've got a special folder just for you.
Just for you. It's called The Trash.
Oh.
Oh. Thank you for tuning in, Steve. I appreciate it.
Do the kids call that a burn?
I believe they do.
Okay.
The kids are now in their 30s.
If they say burn, they are.
Right?
That's true.
So yeah, let's see what else. Dane does bring up a good point. We have gotten a ton of emails lately asking if we've gotten a chance to review the comic that they sent. And the answer to everyone is, if you don't see it posted on the site, we have not had the chance to review it. We unfortunately cannot review everything sent our way. We could review more if all of you donate lots and lots of money so that we can pay everyone a living wage to do this as their full-time jobs, and hopefully give them benefits and regular raises so that we're better than corporate America. Until that day, we are all doing this in the margins of our lives. And we also have to have time for families and extracurriculars and lives. So we'll do what we can. If we can't review it, sometimes we like to schedule interviews, and we lock Jimmy in his cage until he conducts those interviews. And that's just, that's business.
Jimmy. Donate and we'll electrify the cage.
Yes. Now, if you donate $5 a month or more to our Patreon, you can send an email twice a month and ask about the status of your review, and I will answer that. But unfortunately, I don't have the time to answer every single email that comes through. And so we started that Patreon just for folks who care so much that they are willing to support independent comics journalism and or pay us $5 a month to find out what the status of their comic review is. So I will put a link to that in the chat. Let me just copy and paste.
We also have really great articles that go up every month and all sorts of goodies too. And we're working on expanding that. So stay tuned.
Yes, we have one article a month. The more patrons we get, the more articles we can make people write for us. These articles are...
We can make them. Slave labor. We got it.
Exactly. Yeah, so these are way, way more in-depth than typical comic book Yeti fare. Diving into entire series or maybe just one issue, diving deep. And we've got Fred McNamara and Katie Lagera. That's Italian for the Liger. And I don't think that's true. But they are extremely talented writers.
They are great. You're terrible. Keep going.
Yeah, it's part of the brand.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh my God, we just got a $5 patron.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you. No, it's Steven.
Oh God,
you don't
raising the roof 40. Shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Is it Steven?
It is Steven. Thank you.
Thank
Steven.
you, Steve.
Hey, I love you.
It's really freaky because it looks like you're talking to us, and I don't appreciate that. But Steven, you should appreciate that.
That's right. Yeah, I remember film class where they're like, never look directly into the camera, and I was like, I'm going to always look directly into the camera.
It's like a personal space violation from St. Louis.
That's right. Oh, that's David.
Hi, David.
Hey, what are you doing? This is the one that climbs our curtains.
Oh, fun.
And he can actually climb the bricks of our chimney. So
on the inside?
On the inside, yeah.
Oh, so you have to keep the flue closed.
And we got Alexis right here too. So for Schitt's Creek fans, yes, our cats are named David and Alexis.
Ew, David.
Ew, David. Yeah,
there will be, to answer Steve's comment before it pops up on the screen, there will be no new podcast called The Puncast with Yeti and Cabbage. I refuse. I will not be press ganged into that kind of service. That is cruel and unusual punishment. Thank you very much. That is oppression.
What I'm hearing is with enough patrons.
No.
With enough patrons.
I'm not playing along with this. Okay, you know what? Yeah, actually, with enough patrons, I will do it.
Yes! You heard it here, folks.
And by enough, I mean like 270.
How much? Let's get that on the screen.
Is this a pledge drive now?
It is. Also, it's a blood drive, so please donate blood and plasma to comicbookyeti.com. Oh God, please don't. That would be awful.
I'm really glad we don't have a mailing address.
Hold on, let me dig up the address that you sent me for Comic Book Yeti merch, and I'll put that on the screen. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you go for it, and you see what happens.
But I'm so curious what people would send. We need a P.O. box.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's generally a good way to go.
No, Yetis can't be tracked down. That's the whole point. That's the point of being encrypted. So yeah, I think we would need a P.O. box halfway across the country that we would send a proxy to check.
And cabbages don't have arms, so they don't even get mail.
Yeah, not since the accident.
They're just... sorry, I was gonna try to no sell that, but it just got me.
Let us move on.
Yes. All right. What else is on the list, Byron? Do you have
It was too easy.
You've betrayed me.
I'm not good at it. When I think of something, I have to go for it.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
It's okay. I know I am a little cabbage alone on the island while everyone just fires their arrows and slings their stones at me. Much beleaguered cabbage over here.
If you love puns and hate cabbages, subscribe to Comic Book Yeti on YouTube.
I tender my resignation, sir.
Oh, never mind. Don't do it. We need cabbage.
But definitely subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah. Like, subscribe. If you are a werewolf, like and subscribe. I'll take it. It's a numbers game. Also subscribe to Cryptid Creator Corner, the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, and Into the Comics Cave, the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave reviews on Apple, all the stuff. We need that. So yeah. What else? Do we have any user questions? Do we have anything else that's on our list of good stuff to talk about?
Anything? Any burning comics news that's hit in the last week?
From Image Comics that? No, I'm just kidding.
Not going there.
No.
I've been threatened.
Yeah.
Right.
Decisions were made.
Yes.
Marketing plans were marketed and planned, and reactions were had.
And that's all we have to say about that.
Lines were drawn.
Yes.
That's right. So yeah, it's, the comics industry is really interesting right now because so much is changing with the paper shortage, with Kickstarter versus Zoop versus the other crowdfunding platforms that are starting to rise up. It's really fascinating, especially for indie comics. And I can say fascinating instead of scary because I'm not trying to put a comic out. I feel for the creators right now who are still trying to get comics out there because it is scary with the paper shortage. And like McDonald's is putting plastic wrappers on their straws. That's how bad the paper shortage is.
That seems, counterintuitive, but...
Right. No. It's not about the earth. It's just about how much paper costs. So yeah, it's it's kind of crazy, but also maybe it's what digital comics needed to become more popular, because people have such a hard time switching from how things have always been done to something like digital. And I guess we should just be lucky that Paper Girls ended before the paper shortage.
There's just so many. I can't deal with it. Well, we also need I will say, in looking at this kind of neutrally, the way Comixology rolled out, merging with Kindle, obviously interface is not great. International creators really, got the short end of that stick. I'm curious to see what comes up in the next couple of years in terms of options in the digital sphere. If the paper shortage continues, which I'm sure it will, given the global economy and how things are going. So yeah, growth. There's room for growth there, I think, in terms of how those comics are disseminated and delivered to people.
I'm putting in the comments on YouTube the Twitter link to Global Comics, which is also another great digital platform for comics. They do a whole bunch of great stuff with indie creators. Research that on your own time. I'm not here to educate you.
Oh, wow. So hostile. Who are you, me?
Right. God, sometimes we just work together so much, like I end up
and then I just start with the cheese puns at 3 a.m, and that's how it's really gone downhill.
It's true. It's a blessing and a curd.
I can't bear it.
That was good.
Oh,
you got one, Byron. I get
that
one.
Was good. That was good.
Hey, Tim. Nice to see you.
So I'm going to put on the interview hat here for a sec. So I've got you guys, and it's been a while. I mean, I'm kind of new back in the game because I was out of it for years. So we've got the crowdfunded comics landscape, and it seems really interesting to me. It's just something I've been thinking about lately, on how IDW, some of the other publishers, are moving now and pushing more of that creator-owned space. So how could that, how do you see it changing? Like, could that affect Kickstarter, Zoop, Indiegogo? Like, do we feel like the landscape's going to change again?
So my thing, I think Kickstarter is rooted very deeply in the independent comics scene.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of publishers are still really reliant on Kickstarter. A little bit with Zoop, like Ablaze uses Zoop, Band of Bards.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Scout might have had one title on there. I can't remember. But people are dipping their toes in Zoop. At the same time, what Kickstarter has, outside of deep roots and years of being around, is they have board games. They have $30 million Brandon Sanderson campaigns. They have all these other things that give comics a halo effect.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you drop $100 on Brandon Sanderson's bundle, and it's like, oh, if you like, the Stormlight Archive, you will love 12, the series from Kristen. I'm trying to remember Kristen's last name that she uses on the webcomic versus her last name that she uses on Twitter. But Batici, I'm going to put that in the comments. But yeah, and so then you can go and buy her webcomic, which is fantastic.
And she's great. Follow her on Twitter. She's excellent people.
She is. She's one of the best people out there. So assuming that she is people and not, some kind of really intelligent robot.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
Right. So yeah, it's hard because Zoop is comics. Like, and then, a couple of comic adjacent projects, I think. And so you don't end up discovering comic stuff when you are funding a board game on the same site. You have other ones that are cropping up, but everyone's kind of testing the waters to see how successful campaigns are, and kind of pressure test it to see how it compares to Kickstarter, both in how it works and in how much money they can bring in. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. I do know even the major publishers are starting to question how they're going to operate with the paper shortage, because they, like, the big two have deals with distributors and with everyone, so they could kind of monopolize the paper that is available. And so everyone else might have to fight over this limited resource, and that might change the way things are done. But yeah, it's a crazy time to be in comics right now, and we're just gonna have to see how it shakes out. I personally, like, I read comics on the go a lot, so I don't mind digital. Do I love the smell of a new comic? Absolutely. You have to smell comics. Like and subscribe if you like the way
No.
No, I can say this definitively because I haven't seen this recently. Again, been out of the game for a while.
Yeah.
But back when I was much younger and I was working in comic book shops, there were versions of Scratch and Sniff or other things.
God.
We're not going to go there, but yeah, we don't need to smell comic books.
We are nothing if not a gimmick industry. That's for sure. People love trying stuff. This industry was built on hucksterism and crime and underpaying workers, and a lot of that continues to this day.
Hey, way to sell it.
That is the American way.
But yeah, I mean, it's a pulp medium, pulp practices, and shout out to the people who are trying to make it better, people who are unionizing, people who are paying their creative teams and advocating for their teams. You're doing the comic gods work. So thank you, all of you.
Seriously, it is, I think Band of Bards, or maybe it was just Tophs on his account, was talking about, it's like, not getting into comics as like a way to strike it big or get rich, but just to make an example and be an example in the industry. And I wish that more publishers, more individuals in this industry were like that. But there are also a lot of great people in this industry, and massively talented, and it's just like, it is a treasure trove of talent and good. And I normally try to stay away from any community that will have me, but it's one that I am very happy to be a part of, even in a small way.
Yeah, in terms of the current landscape, definitely what you said, Matt. Crowdfunding, I think you have flexibility if you have an audience built in, because people will follow you wherever you go. But it's interesting for creators starting out now, given what Kickstarter has partially walked back but is still working on, the decision of the eyes being there versus taking a chance on Zoop. I know a couple people who were successful, and to my knowledge, their campaigns were no more nail biting than the last 48 hours of a Kickstarter campaign, because that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I mean, people are also, like, in terms of smaller creators, queer community creators, people are getting back into zine making now more than ever too, kind of one-stop shop distribution, which I think can, it may limit your audience, but at the same time, if you're getting it out in front of the people who will appreciate you, then you're not necessarily limiting your audience. Some people don't go for popular appeal. Some people want people to connect with their work on that one-on-one level, and that's very valuable. So I see a lot of that going on too, which is heartening.
I feel like there's this, like, Galactus with a mustache zine that was being talked about for a while there, and it just kind of appeared.
It's called The Person Who Is Still Going to Put That Out Someday Works a Full-Time Job in addition to being an editor and in addition to working for your site and several others. So
That's
yeah,
right.
that's what happens. Way to put me on blast in front of our beloved audience, Matt. Thank you so much.
No,
just ran out of time. And to clarify for some folks, it was an unpaid endeavor. No one made any money off of that, and no one ever will. So
no,
when I have 40 hours to spare, that's when that will happen.
Right. No, I'm just giving you crap. That is extracurriculars in our life right now. It's you just have to balance all of this stuff. And I think that's why, like, you know, the fun-loving Yeti turns into the Yeti of murder. When people email and they're like, "Where's my review?" It's like, bro, I'm doing the best I can here. Please stop.
All you have to do is be polite. That's all we ask. The demands will not be met.
Yeah, it's like, just, you know, we get folks who email and they're like, "I know you're busy. I just want to check on."
Yeah, just following up.
It's and you know, that's fine. If I don't get to you, I don't get to you. I'm sorry. Like, or if you're gonna email and say like, "Hey, just making sure you got it because I didn't hear from you."
Yeah,
absolutely fine. Again, we get tons of emails a day. I do my best to get through them. So if you don't hear from me, feel free to reach out and say like, "Hey, did you get it?" Just making sure. That's fine. When people come in and they say, "Why haven't you reviewed my comic yet? I need this done by the end of the week." That's what I say. Okay, well, I need to make a living doing this, or I can't get to everything. So
he's being nice. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Please
don't do that.
Please.
If you do that to me, you don't get a response, period.
Yeah.
That's the way that goes. So just be polite. That's all we ask.
And if you do it to me, I will send you a video of me crying. And you know, that is,
you don't have time to do that. Not anymore.
I really don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I have 2 small kids, man. I have 4 cats. I can't.
I don't understand why you got 2 more cats. But Byron, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So in coming back into the industry and, you know, totally hitting the ground running with us and other places, what's the most intriguing or exciting thing that you see kind of after your gap in 2022?
Movement. I mean, it is moving so fast, and that's, you know, even kind of what I was asking. It's just like I'm trying to wrap my head around it. We talk about the crowdfunded comics landscape. I see what Iron Circus is doing, where they have that niche audience. They know their audience. They put product out there, and it works.
100%. Yeah.
And then you got Valiant. You know, Valiant recently funded a book through Kickstarter, and I backed it myself. I'm really curious to see where they go with this concept that hasn't been around for 20 years, but so that's really exciting to me. It's movement, and it, in a way, it's nice. It makes some of us old geezers feel a little bit young, even to, you know, try to stay on top of it and track it. I'm not the biggest fan of digital because when I got back into it, it's coming out of a pretty significant, you know, health situation. But comics were the thing that I looked forward to every day. It was one of those things that really helped me get through. It was like, okay, no matter how bad today was, I've got this thing that I can do before going to bed at night every single day. That gave me something, some small piece of joy. So that's why I got back into it, and it's a lot of fun to see where it's going. And I can't put my finger on. I mean, if somebody asked me to, you know, your crystal ball, like what's going to happen, I have no idea.
Yeah. It's such a unique medium, and it just attracts so many unique thinkers and fans and oddballs, and I mean that as a compliment.
It's it's one of the last media formats where you have the freedom to experiment. Like, you get to do that so rarely with TV or film. And comics, the really like format breaking ones, or
Mhm.
the indie comics that you wouldn't be able to see at any publisher, like that is my favorite part of doing this.
Mhm.
And you have creators like Dave Chisholm, who are just massively talented and in every way, and like rethinking how comics can be made.
You have
And
people like Erica Price and Lane Yates who are just kind of
uh,
tearing up the rule book and doing these amazing meta narrative, hard, unbelievable gender fuckery, fantastic shit out there. So yeah, it's totally nonlinear. It's
yeah,
completely unique, and you can really tell any kind of story through the medium.
and it's like you couldn't make that a TV show. You couldn't make that a movie. Like it needs to be a comic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love, is it's not a soft pitch for a film option. It's art, but not high art. It's art that can be enjoyed and dissected, and art that can resonate with you. And I love that.
It's pulp, and pulp is 100% the pulse point of culture. Like you really know where culture's at through, bear with me, things like wrestling and comics and anime and that kind of stuff, because it's for everybody, and it attracts some of the strangest, most creative people. So you're always going to kind of know where you're at based on where those things are.
Yeah.
Dave is amazing.
Dave is amazing.
Yeah, I got to say, coming from more of the fine art world, it is really interesting with comics to see the rapid availability of so whatever your flavor, right? It's there. It used to be back when I was working in stores, right? Like we would anticipate bated breath, like, okay, the newest Sandman that came out, we were like, okay, what is the Dave McKean cover, right? Like that was
Yeah.
it. That was the thing, and everybody doesn't realize that it's not that old. I mean, I'm old. Um, this is all at your fingertips now. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to wait.
No.
It is there, and that's special. It's really really cool.
Yeah.
There's such a rich history and such a broad availability of everything, the golden age stuff that's still available. I mean, we've lost so much of it, but still it's out there if people want to read it. There's, almost 100 years of history in this medium, and that is wild. More obviously, but kind of counting when things first started getting sold on newsstands.
I'm gonna throw a link.
How dare you? Don't throw things.
If you like Dave McKean, Cast Iron Books just closed the campaign for The Boy with Nails for Eyes.
Yes. Sean Gardner. Mm-hmm.
Sean Gardner, massively talented. And they are breaking the comics medium in cool as hell ways. You have to take a peek at this.
They just put out Sierra Barnes's Hans Vogel is Dead, which is fantastic too.
Yeah. Really, like, so everything they put out is gold. Like I love all of their titles. Future by Tom Woodman was amazing. Yeah. Lizzie, who runs Cast Iron Books, just has such an eye for incredible comics. So you can be certain that anything they put out is gonna be fantastic. I bought everything in hardcover so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Let's make this shit entertaining for people.
No.
Okay.
So yes, we're gonna get to know people a little bit better here.
Ooh.
So I want both of your best Comic Con experience. It doesn't have to be best, most interesting. And I'll go first to give you some time to think. So many years ago, I was at Dragon Con and I walked into the bar after Guar played.
Yes.
Which was amazing. And actually got to sit down for a couple of hours. I had drinks with James O'Barr.
Oh my God.
And Larry Elmore.
Oh shit.
That was the weirdest like combination of like dudes just sitting there chatting, and it's one of those things that's really cool about cons, and I guess that's why I wanted to kind of bring it up, because I've seen so many people talking about going again, post pandemic. So people are getting excited again. So I thought it was a nice opportunity to like pitch going to cons.
So I have never been to a real comic convention. I've been to little teeny tiny ones out here, and the big thing that I go to in the Bay Area is the Alternative Press Expo.
Oh, cool!
And just like all the Bay folks are always there. Shout out to Alex Schumacher, who is my bud, who is doing amazing work out here, and so many cool people and a bunch of weirdos, which is just my happy place. But I am going to Baltimore Comic-Con this year, and then there may be at some point, possibly next year, a Cabbage and Yeti appearance at C2E2, although we haven't worked it out yet.
Yeah. I love Chicago so much. Lived there for a while, not long enough. I can't wait to go back and eat my way through that city.
Literally.
Absolutely. If you are in Chicago and you're looking for fried chicken, go to Crisp. It's incredible. It's fantastic. However, my experience at Thought Bubble was life-changing.
So jealous.
Like, potentially the happiest I've ever been in my life. And then like the fun hangover of that was absolutely brutal. But at least I got to be on a plane away from people. From talking, because my intro.
Yeah, I was like, you were on a private plane. You've had money this whole time and you didn't tell us.
No, the plane, I was next to the bathroom and someone like injured themselves and there was blood everywhere.
Oh no. Ooh.
So that was scary.
Yeah.
But that's not what this story is about. This story
Way to take it dark.
Right.
My favorite comic convention story is when someone injured themselves on a plane.
I'm into some weird stuff. No, it was back when I had more time to read comics and I was reading everything that came my way. And, recently before that, Friendo and These Savage Shores changed my life. Friendo, written by Alex Pagnadel. Thank you. And Ram V, or Ram the Fifth. And
it's Ram V.
And sorry, those were the writers. We can link to the comics, but they just changed my life. Both Vault books. And I was also reading, again, future from Cast Iron books, at that time Unbound, and just everything. And so, like, it was my first time going overseas by myself. My second time going overseas, like, not, for a cruise or whatever. And I was a little, like, not scared, but kind of, like, not sure what to expect. And the Irish comic scene was just like, hey, let's go out for beers. And I was like, that's fantastic. Like, I get there and they're like, hey, let me buy you some beers. Oh, thank you, Christa, for adding those. I wonder if I need to put those in the main chat.
Yeah, I sent them over to you.
Thank you. And just gonna add that real quick. Sorry, pause. So that is, let's see, Gareth Luby. It is Paul Carroll, and oh gosh, who else was there? Gary. What's your last name, Gary? I need to look you up real quick. Sorry, I'm bad thinking on the spot. Gary Maloney. I can only think of puns on the spot. Everything else my brain is useless for. And so they I just went out for beers with them right away, and they were so welcoming. And then we hung out that night, and they were like, "Hey, here's everyone else in the Irish/UK comic scene," and that was incredible. I met comics' favorite son, Haggai. Haggai Polevsky. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at name pronunciation. But he is wonderful. And then all the white noise guys, Alex and Rom and Ryan, and everyone was there, and I got to talk with them about about creation and what they love about comics, and talking to them about their specific comics and the process and the thought behind it. And it was incredible. I just got to sit down with Aditya Bidikar and just talk about lettering for an hour. And you don't get that. You don't get that at cons. It's a totally different experience to be able to just hang out and have a beer with the creators that you love and idolize and everything, and just hang out. Christian Carnouche, or Carnus, depending on where you follow him, and I got to be very close friends while we were there. I got to meet the women from the Valkyries, the now defunct Valkyries.
Heather, Georgie.
Love them. They're wonderful. We were all very close during that, and it's it's one of the top 5, probably top 3 experiences of my life. Dancing while Jamie McKelvey DJs. Who gets to do that? It was absolutely incredible. If you can, I had miles on a credit card that got me there. And if you sign up for the hotel early, sometimes you can find good deals, or if you're a hotels.com member,
Hotels.com, not a sponsor of this video.
Right, but I wish they
We'd love to have you.
Yes.
Yeah, we would.
Let's talk.
Get in touch.
Hotels.com was a client of ours back when I worked at an advertising agency in Chicago. So hotels.com. Email. Yeah, email.
I will accept that email.
Right, perfect.
Sponsors, you can email me anytime.
Weird. Cabbage Comics got or kccomics.com got sponsors, but we didn't. How strange.
It's a mystery.
Right. Ooh, what kind of water are you drinking there, Byron?
Richard's rainwater.
Whoa, fancy.
Does it taste like petrichor?
I came up with a slogan actually earlier, which was a little bit naughty.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're gonna drink water, drink it from a dick. I don't think that would fly.
No, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's definitely memorable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would buy it.
It's actually, this is kind of my nightly thing now, because I have to do this anti-inflammatory diet, which, let me tell you, is no fun. But yeah, so I don't do beer, I don't do soda, so I get my can of water. Sorry, Earth.
Sorry, Earth. Yeah. No, cans you can recycle at almost 100% rate. So at least there's that. It's better than glass. It's better than plastic. Right. So yeah, at least you get to reuse that glass.
Yes, I've got grade A tap water in this raw milk. Oh, welcome to the Bay Area, folks. Raw milk jug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just use plastic disposable bottles. I take one sip and then I throw it in
out your car window while laughing. Exactly. Yeah.
Because you shouldn't drink more than one sip from a plastic bottle of water. Otherwise, you could get mad cow disease.
That's how you get the 5G in your bloodstream.
That's right. That's right. And if you're watching this video, you already have the 5G.
I'm going to start a conspiracy theory podcast under the Comic Book Yeti banner.
It'd probably do well.
Yeah, probably.
People believe a lot of strange, awful, obviously, but occasionally goofy and ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. It's and it's all true.
No.
I'm going on. I know this stuff.
Nope. We shall not invoke any of that nonsense. Thank you very much.
Fine. Take all the fun out of it.
All right.
I do think we should take the moment, though. Like we were joking about hotels.com or Richard Rainwater. Let's talk about sponsors. Like, I think it's something that I think we should address here.
Matthew.
Yeah. We would love to pay our staff anything we can. Sponsors help us do that. And we can always use more sponsors for the podcasts. We can use sponsors for our YouTube series, Kickstart My Heart, from Byron O'Neill. And which covers more than Kickstarters, let me just say.
Started on TikTok. Yep. You got to see me there too.
Yes. So let's chat. We are looking for sponsors from anywhere, whether you want to come on Patreon and sponsor us there, you want to come on our coffee, coffee.com, ko-fi/Comic Book Yeti, to donate there, or you want more specific plans, we can work with you. One thing we would love is if you are a comic book retailer, I would love to chat with you about how we can work together, what we can offer, how we can help. We have interview series, we have all kinds of stuff that we can brand. So let's chat, because we have thousands of people who visit comicbookyeti.com regularly, and we would love to send people your way.
We have a healthy Twitter following. People love reading and sharing our stuff. So yeah, we can definitely get eyeballs on what you have to offer.
Exactly.
And one thing we'd like to expand on, me especially, our offerings for kids, because there's so many great books out there for kids right now. And I think they're just not getting the exposure that they deserve. So that's one of my missions, because I love kids, and kids need more great things to read, and there's no shortage of it. So
100%. Yeah.
I agree. A friend of Comic Book Yeti, who also was reviewing comics for a while, David Lyons, wrote a kids comic book. I will link to his Twitter here.
It's super fun, and he's an absolute mensch. So
he is. He's wonderful. So please give him a follow on Twitter. Pick up that kids comic. Give it a read. It's so important that we get kids reading. I currently read to my daughter a little bit from a graphic novel every night, and she looks forward to it, and it's really nice to share that. And it's nice to balance words with pictures. Yeah, I think it's a great experience, and I highly recommend other parents to do that. So hit me up, parents, if you want some recommendations. Otherwise, we'll try and put something together soon for comicbookyeti.com.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we had a friend, good friends visit last month. They have 3 teenagers. Before they left, they were asking me for recommendations,
awesome.
for different comics. 15-year-old got here, saw the wall behind me that goes all the way to the ground, and that's what he did the whole time he was here. He was reading, and now his moms are like, okay, what else? More, and they've had trouble, getting him engaged in reading, and so it just clicked. So yeah.
I love that. That's so great.
There's such a huge world in traditional publishing now. There's always been a healthy world outside of the big two. So there's something for absolutely everybody.
Yeah, and you have publishers like Band of Bards who are doing American light novels, which is, like I want to say 10 or 20 images, but a lot of prose text in there, kind of bending the line between comics and traditional novels. And so you have all this gray area. It's not just like books or comics. And this is the year of our Lord 2022. Like, comics is reading. Like, that people used to say, like, no, that's comic books, whatever. But it's like, no, I don't care if it's big two or like incredible indie stuff or like Black Stars Above's issue with several prose pages. Like, it's all reading. It's all good for you. I can't recommend it enough for kids and for adults. Yeah. And chances are, if you're here, I'm preaching to the proverbial choir, but
still. Well, hey, we can turn it around. If someone comes to you and asks for a recommendation, ask them what they like. Ask them about the music that they listen to, the movies that they watch, the TV, the books. Don't just recommend Watchmen. Don't just go through your favorites. Get to know that person and go out and find something that's like what they will like. If they like slice of life stuff, there's tons of comics for them. If they like romance, there's all sorts of stuff. If they like hard sci-fi, etc. So,
and if
we
can
all be
recommend something other than Saga. Stop it.
Yes, there's way more out there. Saga's great, but there's just tons and tons of stuff. Be an ambassador for the medium that you love, because we need as many people as we can get. And there's so much good stuff, and we need more eyeballs and supporters for all these amazing creators out here.
Absolutely. And we're
well
here
said, because I'm actually, people are going to hate me for this. I'm not a big Watchmen fan.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just never clicked.
Yes, Stephen Petrovelli writes great slice of life comics. You can check out Sweetie, you can check out his new Western Railgun, and you can check out Retail. Give him a follow on Twitter at Steve_Petro.
Speaking of sponsorship,
I hang out with Steve a lot, so he's a good dude.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he burned my house down.
What?
Nothing.
Low battery? Is that your fire alarm?
Oh yeah, I didn't hear anything. Was that someone else?
I don't know. Maybe I heard it and it's my house. So if I have to run, well, you'll know.
Let's play Whose Smoke Detector is going off.
Is that a background effect, or is your house on fire?
I love playing Which Smoke Detector is going off in my house. That one is fun.
Oh, that like step. Listen.
While you're being deafened by the shrill. Yeah.
Ours are all connected, so when one goes off, they all trigger.
Oh no, that sounds horrible. Well, I mean, but then if you turn one off, does it trigger the rest of them?
No.
Oh, you have to turn them all off? That sucks.
Oh god.
Well, they'll keep going. It's like it's a timer. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I heard that. So our house was built with an oven that had like the invection thing that sucks up the smoke. And you can't find those ovens or cooktops anymore. And there's no vent upwards and outwards.
Ooh.
So we kind of just have to bring this guy in and blow all the smoke through our sliding glass doors.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That seems like a super huge fire hazard, Matt. You should probably get that replaced.
It's probably fine. No, yeah, we need to figure that out. No, we have like a home warranty, and it's like our clock on the previous stove like went out. And so I called the home warranty. I was like, hey, can you guys fix this? And they're like, oh, we can't. Like, no one makes that anymore. And so we just have to give you like the maximum amount for a new oven. And I was like, oh, sweet. Absolutely. couldn't find any more induction ovens, but we just opted for like most expensive oven that we could find. That was, it's like, might as well if they're paying for it. So then we get it, but then we're like, oh, now we just have like a big brown spot above the oven from oil smoke rising up.
Ooh,
so
that's no good.
Got to get the magic eraser out.
Yikes. Well, I need to jump. I'll be right back. It actually is a faulty fire alarm. Indeed, because my dog is like at my feet now, cowering in fear. So I will be back momentarily.
Yep. Fair enough.
So now that Byron's gone, we can talk about how terrible he is.
Oh no, Byron's amazing.
No, Byron's the best.
Oh, who sent a little lovey? Oh, Chris, thank you, Chris. Oh gosh, I can't believe we passed an hour and 15 already. It feels like
you did a lot of plugs, man.
Yeah, like an hour of plugs.
I understand. We've got a lot of cool stuff cooking and a lot of opportunities for people to engage with us. So it's really cool to see the menu of things that we have going.
Yeah, we've got a lot. Like, if there's anything that we don't have that you want to see, let us know.
Yeah, seriously. Open. Yeah. Or if you feel that you could be additive, and you want to pitch something or a way that we could collaborate. Yeah.
Please. Like, it's we love working with people. I know we have a crazy as hell review format. It's really hard to learn for some folks, but other folks really like it. So come help us review comics, help us interview creators.
Mm-hmm.
Just, if you ever wanted to talk about comics and you just didn't know where to start, like that's the whole reason why I started Comic Book Yeti, is just like, I had no one to talk to about comics and I just wanted a place to get it out there. And I also was not confident enough in my writing abilities to try writing for other websites. And so I was like, let me just do my own thing. And yeah, so it's been a wild 4 years.
Has it been now? 4 years? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
I remember starting this like a few months before our second kid was born, thinking like, well, I mean, how much more work can a second child be?
You found out, sir.
I did. Yeah, they can be a lot more work and there's a lot less time. And that's why we brought on so many people to help out. And I would never change a thing about it.
Nope. Everything good, Byron?
Oh, everything's fine. Yeah. My wife, it's do you ever have one of those weeks where you just feel cursed?
Yes.
Yeah, that's this week. So
I'm sorry. I hope the weekend is better.
So do I. My son ended up with a concussion today.
Oh no, soccer. Is he okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's okay. And my wife is, I don't know if it's a BPPV thing going on with inner ear, but like she's not walking straight. She's dizzy and this is not normal for her. Yeah. And then the dog's freaking out because of course the fire alarm is going off tonight. Yep. Anyway, I'm back.
I hope everybody feels better.
Yeah, seriously.
But this is what happens. So when you ask, why is my review not done? Well, we have lives.
Exactly.
Yep.
Stuff happens. That's just it's life. Like, we are not robots just here to review comics. Like, this is us. We're real people, at least like Byron and I are. And so
I'm a real life cabbage.
That's right.
I have a piece of advice that I wish someone had told me when I first started out critiquing and reviewing and kind of making my weird little niche in this industry. And that is kind of to your point, Byron, everything moves so quickly. You're not going to be able to cover everything. You're not going to be able to read everything. Do not burn yourself out trying. Chase the stuff that matters to you 100%. Make real connections with people, but don't get bogged down in that dread of the to read pile or the need to review everything. Go at your own pace. Make sure you can do this for 10, 20 years. You don't want to burn out after a couple. We need your voice out here. So you have to take care of yourself.
Listen, folks, I was having panic attacks trying to cover everything. Like, literally had to get on anxiety and blood pressure medication because I felt so guilty not being able to cover everything, not being able to answer every email. Like the pressure that you can feel as a critic trying to do it all can be overwhelming, debilitating. Just do what you can, chase what you love, and like just know that you're doing your best. And if other people can't see that and are too demanding, you don't need them. You don't need to review their stuff. And if they're going to be like that, maybe they shouldn't be in this industry in the first place. So
this is a wildly transactional industry, and we need to find all sorts of ways that we can connect genuinely so those transactions are mutual.
Yeah.
Like, yes, press is here for a reason. It's there to, creators go out and they look for interviews. PR people go out and look for coverage for a very specific, reason. Al, damn you, never. Hi, Al, our amazing webcomics editor, so full of just never-ending recommendations and really insightful critique. We appreciate you so much.
Al also on TikTok.
Yes.
Great recommendations on TikTok.
But yeah, just to wrap up that thought, it's a transactional industry. Show up and create good boundaries for yourself and respect other people's boundaries, and you'll be flabbergasted at the people that you meet. I never thought I would meet people like you, both of you. I never thought I'd meet, have the opportunity to talk to half the creators that I have. I have a close-knit circle of friends that all came up organically just because I decided I think I should try reviewing comics. I don't know. Do people do that? And they did. So
yeah,
find your place.
It's like, it's been incredible just doing this and finding your community. I can't recommend enough finding your community in comics, whether you are a journalist / critic, whatever you want to label yourself as, or a creator or anything. Without a community, I don't honestly know that you can succeed here. It's you need it. And community lifts you up. They're great sounding boards. They're great for support. It's incredible. And we've got a Discord if you need community. We can recommend other Discords if you hate Yetis. Yeah, I just Whomst. That's right.
And let me elaborate on Find Your Place a little bit, because when I came into this, and this is just pitching Matt, Christa, Wells. I mean, I'm not gonna say everybody because I'll forget them, but like so many amazing people, and in the amount of support I've gotten in to kind of do what I want. And at times, Matt will testify to this. I've said, dude, why are you giving me this much free reign? Because like I would not do this. Like, you're crazy.
He is, but you're also
with
great.
Everybody. He will not do that with everybody. I'm special. Anyway, but it's such a great community, because and like Find Your Place. So I came into this trying to do the review stuff. I don't actually think I was all that good at it.
You were good.
But I really enjoy doing the interviews, and it's so cool. And what I think is, okay, I'm going to pitch the podcast, but what Jimmy and I are doing, we're picking the people we want to interview.
Yep.
So it's a totally different type of relationship. We're not hunting the numbers. I mean, we're more than happy to interview big creators, but we're also, I'm good friends with some of the people who just have their first Kickstarter. They probably will never do another one, but like we now regularly talk, and it's such a cool community to get in.
Yeah.
So get in, because it's pretty welcoming. I was definitely warned, like, oh, that there's the entities out there. You haven't experienced the negativity yet. I still haven't, and it's not a year yet that I've been doing it. But I'm relatively connected to at this point.
Yep.
And the community is great. It is what you put in, the energy you put out is what you will get back. So
we have to support each other.
Yeah,
I mean, we're the redheaded stepchild of publishing as it is. And the way I described it to one of my coworkers when she inevitably was like, wait, you edit comics? What? How? It's like, look, there's a dollar bill taped to the back of a bus and everyone gets a pen, and the last person or the first person to the bus over everybody else wins the dollar.
Yep.
And that's this at its worst, but at its best, it's a like-minded community of freaks and weirdos and big kids and loving people who just support each other and get really jazzed about each other's work and lift each other up. And that's the kind of thing we want to make at Comic Book Yeti. That's why we seek out the people that we do. And we're just so lucky to have you, Byron. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's fascinating because it is the community I didn't know I was searching for.
Yeah.
100%.
And it really harkens back to that time when I was like 17, 18, 19, working in those first comic book shops, and you develop that rapport about some new book coming in, and everything's coming out every week, and it really is that same kind of bond, that same kind of feeling. So love fest, but appreciate y'all too.
Yeah. Matt, we met on a Vault tweet.
Yeah, because we were both like fanning out over all the white noise stuff that was coming out at that time. Like Brendo especially was just like I just remember being like, is this God, Vertigo. Like it felt so like like when I grew up reading Big 2 comics, and then when I first picked up some Vertigo titles, I was like, oh, this is what comics can be? And it's like, I got away from comics for so long because I thought that, if I was talking to girls and they saw comic books, then they would not talk to me anymore. But then, it's so funny. Like we moved into the same apartment building as Dean, who was in the chat earlier. And I was like, oh, I used to read X-Men. And he's like, I have a lot of X-Men comics. And I was like, can I borrow those? And I read like decades of that. And I was like, sir, I think you just got me back into comics. And he goes, I'm sorry. And then like I bought a ton of Image stuff off of Humble Bundle because they always have incredible bundles.
Yeah, they have great stuff. Yeah.
Not just for Image, like they'll have Valiant deals and they'll have Oni, and it's I highly recommend, if you're on a budget, do Humble Bundle, do the library. You have a lot of digital options through the library. With Hoopla and other apps out there. And so when our daughter was really little, like I was just reading a lot of comics while I was chasing her around the house and around the yard and all of that stuff. And that's how I got back into comics. I inserted myself with force. Thank you.
And we are all the better for it.
We are. Where was I going with that? This is ADD. No, wait.
You got old, you had kids.
We were talking about how we met.
Yes. And so
talk about me. That's just the solution.
Right. No, friendo, I was like, I haven't felt like this in years. Like this is what comics can be. This is incredible. And these Savage Shores felt like that. And I was like, what is this gonna do? And then it wrapped up and I was like, oh my God, that was incredible. Like I was still of the mindset back then though, where I was like, comics are just ongoings, or they just stopped being produced. I was not used to minis, minis or anything. So I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And then those series wrap up and I'm like, oh my God, that was incredible. And then like finding other like-minded people online, like you and David Lyons, who we mentioned earlier, and the Valks, like all of us were going nuts over these titles because there's nothing else like that out there.
You could feel it when it was happening, that something special was going on, and that these folks were making something different.
And so it's like these creators are getting more and more amazing work out there, but also Vault is is publishing a lot of new creators who are doing the types of comics that you don't get to see elsewhere. Same with Cast Iron, like I mentioned earlier. Like, and some of these other publishers are doing incredible stuff, and it's just a really great time to be a comics fan, because
It really is, yeah.
there is like there's magic in the industry, and you can't, like, if you grew up reading the big two and then you just started reading indie comics, like it's night and day. It's really great. But yeah, so lucky to have met you, Christa, and then like
you ruined my life.
Good.
I hate to give you that much credit, but it's true.
Yes.
So okay, so here's my curiosity.
Yes.
Why did you trust me as much as you did? Because like I live in Florida. That's a red flag in and of itself.
Florida man.
I think it really helped that we had $0 in the bank account, so it's not like you could get very far with the passwords. But also, like, the thing about scammers is they want to put in as little time as possible to get as big of a payout. And if you are wanting to do all of this work, I'm just gonna let you. Like, at the worst, we just change our passwords.
Solid.
I'm already considering doing that just to fuck with him anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the same time, like, I remember having a conversation with you because you had your own website at that time.
And still like, do, but I don't do anything with it. So.
Right. It's like, you are reviewing your own stuff. Why do you want to do stuff over here with the limited time and resources that you have? And you were like, I can do both if I really want to. Like, I want to, like, we had laid the groundwork. Like, we've got the foundation with the creators and following and stuff. And so, you know, we have all of these comics that are sent our way that you can review if you work for Comic Book Yeti, volunteer for Comic Book Yeti, not work.
Yes. Our Google Drive overfloweth.
It does. I'm really tired of paying a monthly fee just to host all of these comics. But yeah, and we have so many people who I really want to interview, and you were just like, hey, I can do this for you. And you know, we also, like, the marketing minds, it's fun to bounce ideas off of one another, and so, you know, you have to take a leap of faith with people. You have to, especially if you're not going to pay them. Like, it's just, you know, we're all in this industry out of a love for the medium, and you know, it's a love-hate for the medium. And it's like, you know, if we've had so many people who ghosted us, and that's fine. Like, Comic Book Yeti is haunted. But no, I'm just kidding.
You're
but
haunted.
Like, that's just, it's the beast. Like, you can't pay people. You depend on volunteers, and you know, you trust them, and then they stick around for a while, and maybe they get comic book work. Like, we've had many Comic Book Yetis who have gone on to do really great comics, and you know, they're starting to do more and get themselves established in the field. Jared, we love you. We miss you.
Shout out to our boy Jared. Congratulations, man.
Yeah. And so Dylan Essex was here for a bit, and now he's doing some awesome Mad Cave stuff. Wells, like we said, it's probably only a matter of time. He's in all 75 of those.
Don't inspire him to abandon us just yet.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Also, if I can hop in real quick, Byron, it was also the way that you showed up. Like, you obviously had the experience, you know, to be like, hey, I can try this stuff because I've done it before. And you were just open and very level about what you could and couldn't do and what you wanted to do in your time. And so you seem like a trustworthy person. So you've conned us.
That's right.
No, I mean, if there's one adjective everybody that knows me would actually describe me as, the first one is loyal. So like that's,
yeah.
I may be many things, but I'm most assuredly that. But the synopsis, it sounds like, is I was cheap, free, and
Yes.
available. So yeah,
Right.
got it. Yeah.
No, the people who
and you showed up with professionalism.
That's
so
right.
Can we add that to the list?
Which shows you the bar, people. If you're listening to this, it's
right. God. No, it's funny. The people who email us to volunteer to write for us, if someone is like, yeah, give me everything you got, I'm like, oh, they're gonna last a week before they burn themselves out. The people who are like, look, here are my boundaries. Here's what I can offer you.
We love that. Yes.
Absolutely. Boundaries are healthy, people. It's okay to have boundaries. And if any website or anyone else like tries to make it so that you don't have boundaries, run.
Yes. Your time is valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Al and Byron both are just like, here's what I can offer. Like, I want to do this. There are going to be times that I can't. And if you're okay with that, awesome. If you're not, that's fine too. And I'm like, please just come write some reviews for us. No,
I was just about to say we're all adults here, but I think you just disproved that, Matt.
Why does everyone tell me that?
I think we need to pause though and like talk about Al for just a moment. It's like she's there on listening, right? And recently promoted. I think we've used the C word, which is comics, a lot, but we do cover more than that. So.
Yes, we do.
Web comics and manga.
Oh, she just said, please don't. For those of you out there who have been lifelong readers of Western comics and have never tried Bayday or manga, you are missing out. This is a medium that appeals to cultures that have integrated it in a way that America has not. And so the wide wild world of manga is absolutely amazing. There is 100% something for everybody.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like manga always feels like the story's written backwards.
As long as you don't say manja again, because that just sounds genital in nature.
No, I was okay. So
my ears.
You don't know manga. You read from, right to left, back to like traditional, back to traditional front. The manja thing goes back to a tweet from several months ago where I have a running joke with Martin Lorbiecki, who's incredible, does some great watercolor stuff. I'll throw his profile in the chat, but the joke is that I eat comics. Totally a joke. I don't eat the comics that people
You did advocate for smelling them, so I don't trust you.
Like and subscribe if you've ever eaten a comic.
Like and subscribe if you'd like to watch Matt eat a comic.
Or if we get to 200 YouTube subscribers, yes, Matt will eat a page.
There we go.
You heard it here.
If we get to 1,000, he'll eat a page of original art.
That's so wasteful.
I know. You're not supposed to tell them it's a lie, Byron. It's all part of the scam.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
It's original art from Grant Stoy.
How dare you? I have original art from Grant around here somewhere.
I think I have a post-it that he drew a butt on. Yeah.
I have a sword that's made out of a toucan's beak, and it has lips on it because, yes.
An actual toucan's beak? He did that to a toucan?
He did, yes.
I think you shared that, and why?
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The joke was that I eat comics, and so, like, manja for Italians means eat, and then manga is... Like to me, that means that I should eat the comics, right? It's very close to manja. I would just assume. Here we go. Oh my god, this better not awaken anything in me.
Absolute nightmare. It's okay. For my Kickstarter, he asked me to draw an eagle snatching a fish from a lake with my non-dominant hand, and I did it.
That's amazing.
And that clearly illustrates that Grant is a Rolling Stones fan, though.
Yes.
Because those are Rolling Stones-esque lips.
It's missing the tongue, but yeah.
Right. I don't know, with that color palette, maybe he's just a Flaming Lips fan.
Get out. This stream is over. Please unsubscribe.
No, wait, come back.
It's the only thing that diminishes his power is unsubscribing.
we have 7,000 followers on Twitter, and 60 of them haven't muted us yet because of my puns.
Oh, I forgot to do. I mean, never mind.
Everyone, thank you for joining us tonight and today. If you're just watching, not right now,
or in the U.S.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been fun. We'd love to do it again. Let us know if you liked it. Let us know if you hated it. We won't listen. We'll delete that comment. But it's good to know these things.
Your hatred gives me strength.
Yes, use your hates.
Damn.
Cabbage thrives on spite.
Spite fuel, for sure.
Yeah, this was tons of fun. Love spending time with both of you. And thank you, everyone who tuned in. You guys keep us running. You keep the lights on. And you keep us interested and engaged in what we do. So thank you.
By both of you, do you mean Byron and I, or our 2 followers who are watching right now?
I referred to both of you two here and then the people who are watching. I don't appreciate you. I just appreciate Byron.
I'll take it.
I despise you as a human being.
Who is powered by hate now?
So, okay, I want the quick shout out though on your wall. I want to know what's behind you there, over your shoulder.
Oh, we've got Commander Rao.
Fellhound.
By the lovely Fellhound. We have a phenomenal print by Erica Price, who's a UK-based horror artist who I mentioned earlier. We have my office manager's band, Songs for Snakes, excuse me. We have a lovely print by Lane Lloyd. We have some Freaky Little Goetic Demons by Sierra Barnes. We've got a couple local artists and then a Doctor Who thing and a Gravity Falls thing because I'm a nerd.
Nice.
Hooray.
I still don't have my print from Sierra up yet. I've got to print it. It's kind of big. So that was the Uctenna, because all my stuff has to have an Uctenna in it.
Nice.
Inspired Hellboy flute player. We needed a snake charmer. That was the concept. So it's really cool.
That sounds unbelievable.
Yeah. She did a good job.
Sierra's so talented. Oh.
Yes. Matt, what's on your wall?
So that's a Thor Ragnarok limited edition poster. And it was the only thing that was sized similarly to Seven to Eternity, which is an okay comic, but I just love the cover art and how it looks like a movie poster. And then I'm a huge Final Fantasy nerd. And so this is some art from Final Fantasy VI, or when I played it, it was Final Fantasy III on the Super Nintendo back in the day.
Yep.
Plan to kind of switch that out every so often. The aforementioned Martin Lorbiecki and Jack Foster have sent me original artwork that I need to get framed. And so that is on the plan for the next year, probably. And so over on the other wall, which I won't show you because then it's going to show all of the toys that are strewn about the room, are 5 Battlestar Galactica posters done in that kind of propaganda style that was so big about 10-15 years ago. And it's one of my favorite shows. And then over on the other wall, which I won't show you because it's all the empty tents that the kids have made.
I love that we're getting the verbal tour here.
Absolutely. Is a Welcome to Night Vale poster that says, "We will show you fun and a handful of dust." And it has a Ferris wheel partially buried under sand. And then in quotations, visitable Night Vale, which is absolutely my brand of humor.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to show this. Yeah, Lane Lloyd has a style unlike anything else out there.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend.
They're the best.
Love them. Love their art.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Byron, what do you got on your wall?
Well, let me like pitch Lane really quick here, because I know, and I've got to see some stuff. One of the people that I interviewed, Dakota Brown, who is now a good friend, fellow East Tennessean. So hi, Dakota. Actually, you got another kid on the way, so congratulations about that.
Congrats.
Yay.
But he and Lane are working on kind of a biblically inspired thing.
Ooh.
Looks super cool. So
Cool.
that'll drop later. And Dakota has a great book coming out with Scout, but we'll get back into that later. So
Awesome.
this one, Wiley Beckert, who's an illustrator, did a cover for Young Hellboy. So that's that. And the one next to it, that's an original from the Lobo miniseries. So that's a Simon Beasley, who is like an all-time fave illustrator. So that's the original splash page from issue 1.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there's over here, can't see them all, but this is Craig Gilmore, who does illustrations for like fantasy books, D&D, that sort of thing. Will Perkins, who did the kids book Goblin.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So he put together this for Father's Day last year. So there's an Uktena, which has to be in all my new stuff. And then Rick, who is the young goblin, and his dad. So my son's name is actually, my son's name is Fane. His middle name's Havelock. So you combine them together. The roots are Happy Sea Warrior, which describes his personality to a T.
Awesome.
And because of the water influence, we wanted Rick and his dad on the water. So that was my Father's Day present. And I have lots more. I just haven't had a chance to even get them up yet, including Lane's, which is a super cool 80s inspired sound wave thing with a boom box. So that was super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the rest of the walls are plastered, but I'm not picking up my computer and jiggling it around to show everything.
It's all good. My wife is terrified. I think that it's going to start spilling out over the rest of the house. Because the rest of the house is all my photography.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Yeah, that's our artwork. So cool. Or my father-in-law's. So he never tried to make a profession out of it. He was the smart one.
Oh no. Yay, working in the arts is so much fun.
It is. It's brutal. I wouldn't recommend it unless you. It's like comics, you know. So I was already used to the masochism. So
yeah, just keep going. Yeah, I got plenty of other walls to cover and plenty of art to do it with. So I will drop this person's Twitter profile probably later on my Twitter, but check out this sweet little haunted house print.
Oh, that's so
cool. With the little person. Little person in the window. Yeah, isn't that dope?
That is awesome.
That's super cool.
I love that. Are those ghosts coming out of the chimney?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I just totally blanked on their name. I'm so sorry. I'll find them and share.
It's Carl.
Here we go. Yeah, just so many cool people out here doing so many amazing things. It's such a special time and place to be. That's all I got.
I mean, obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'll never.
Is that what that is? Is that
not pitch my team? Yeah. So these are.
Is that sports? Is that what?
Yes, those are the Champions League banners. Over my head here, they're up there. That's Dani Alves captain band. So the most decorated player ever to play the game.
Wow.
Won more trophies than Messi. Won more trophies than Ronaldo. Dani Alves is the man. And then Mike. Oh, there. Boom. My LGBTQ captain's armband, which the Premier League does, where the proceed they have these for sale, and then the proceeds go to help different causes, and they do it every year. So
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. It's 1 month until Pride Month.
Yeah. So are we going to be doing the Pride Month thing. Are you still planning on trying to do that, hosting some creators and do a chat?
Yeah,
love to do that. If you are a creator who would like to be a part of that, let us know. We are only accepting cishet white males for that chat. Obviously kidding.
Oh my god.
No, please. We would love to have you. We'd love to talk with you.
Yeah, if you're a queer community, queer identifying person, please reach out. We'd love to feature you and your amazing work.
Yeah, on that note, we're with the t-shirt thing that we're planning on doing. This is a new idea, so I'm just throwing marketing out live.
Ooh.
I think we
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think we should get like a signature Yeti thing done by a queer artist and like have it available for the month and then donate the proceeds.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yes.
Here I am like, hey, let's just throw away any money we get again. But
no, I like that. We are not doing this to make money. We are, once we start doing this to make money, we will, end up doing endless listicles and just like living for clicks, and that's not.
I'm doing it for the clout.
That's right.
All that cabbage clout.
Yeah, we're doing this for the community and just because we want to do what we like. So yeah, if you are a queer artist and you want to make some cool comic book Yeti stuff for a good cause, get in touch.
Yes.
And we love you.
Oh, not with the eyebrows. Never with the eyebrows.
Oh, you've seen it here.
Alicia out here undermining everything.
All right. That is contractually binding.
Yes. Take a screenshot of that, please.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. It's live. You'll know we sold out when I start interviewing Rob Liefeld or Eric Larson. So
we are contractually obligated to interview people who know how to draw feet.
Yeah, because feet are really in right now. So
what websites are you visiting?
On that note,
Quentin Tarantino's IMDb page.
You stop it. Stop it now.
Look, maybe we just dip a toe in the water.
I don't even think that deserves a comment.
I'm not giving you anything. This is painful for me personally. Targeted attack.
But bless people genuinely out there who can draw feet, because that's hard.
It is hard. Hands are hard. Horses, crowd scenes, lots of. I'm gonna do a comic that's giant hands versus cars versus horses.
No, horses with hands instead of hooves. Just like.
Yo, that's messed up. I just got an idea, actually.
Driving cars.
Oof, with all of their feet.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay, I think we need to end this stream.
You're welcome. Yeah, before it gets too weird, maybe on that note.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. If you
thanks everybody.
Horses with hands, make sure to like and subscribe.
Great.
If you watch next time, we will deliver a drawing from Grant.
Yes.
With horses with hands.
Oh my gosh.
And lips.
Yes. I'm gonna DM him right after this. Okay. Thank you, everyone. You're the best. Thank you both. This has been a blast.
Love you.
No.
God.